Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Can you tell me your name?
My name is Paul Warambo.
And what is your role? What is your job?
My job at TWBK is to manage the center. I'm the center administrator as well as the quality assurance officer
Great.
for the translation work that we do.
And how long have you been working and training at TWB Kenya?
Great. I've been working in TWBK for the last 2 years. From its inception, when we began training, I was the training assistant. I was assisting Simon Anderson during the training sessions.
What does TWB Kenya do that you feel is important?
First, I'm sure I'm excited about the vision of TWB. Creating a world where language is nobody. So one of the important work that TWB does is to avail important health information in a language that is understandable to the general population. To break that language barrier, because we realize that a lot of health content in this country is in English, and statistically speaking, only 40% of this population is able to read and understand English. And even that 40%, when the health content is a little bit complicated, that statistic will go down as well. So availing that information to people who would otherwise be in various health complications is very important.
What about the training at Translators Without Borders? What's the goal in training the translators?
We envision to train so many translators who will go into the world and can volunteer as spontaneous translators whenever they are called upon. So we want to build a capacity among the population to be able to translate health information that would be useful to people who need it when they need it.
And you, as the head of the manager of the center, tell me a little bit about the folks who we've trained.
Wow, we've trained up to 100 people so far from the time we began. We trained a group of youths who are jobless and were interested in language and health issues. So we trained them and released them into the field. Some of them have actually communicated back to us and told us they gained useful skills. They are able to translate even simple sentences in billboards that talk about health issues like cholera, malaria, such kind of stuff. We've also trained community health workers, and this is where it is important to know. We trained a number of community health workers who are already working in health centers and health posts, but who are not having the skills to translate the document they needed to communicate to the people. And so now they have that particular skill and they are using it. A good example is one lady who was a health promotions officer at the Ministry of Health. The name, I don't quite remember the name, but it is in one of our articles. She communicated back to us and told us that she was being so useful in the whole district. People would turn to her to translate simple information such as how to protect trachoma, what to do when you get trachoma, what not to do not to get trachoma, such kind of things. And she's been in communication with us. Another group of people we also trained were commercial sex workers from Kibera slum in Nairobi. We trained them because they have a lot of information in English, information about sexuality and what affects them. But it is in English. They can understand it, but the people they work with cannot understand it, and they need the information. So we train them on the translation skills to be able to translate this content to be useful to the people they work with in the slums. People in the slums don't understand English, so they need information in Swahili, which they understand. We trained them as well. Then we also trained a group of people from various backgrounds, from health background to linguistic background, some of whom we have trained and retained in the center and are available to translate health content and any other information that is related to saving people's life.
Great. Do you have a message for any of the donors who help us train more people and help us create this center that is employing and growing the translation industry here in Nairobi?
Great. Really, I have great messages for our donors and those who are still thinking to be our partners in this, that the need is huge. There is a huge translation need in this country. And for us to meet that need, we need to translate more translators. So that when we train them, they are not only going to train to translate information that will be useful to the people to save their lives, but also building capacity and employing them. They are able to use this skill to employ themselves. And unemployment is a huge problem in this country. If we can train one translator to save a life, to build a capacity in that translator, to be able to be useful to the community and earn a living, that is the best you can ever give to humanity. And so I would appeal to our donors to continue helping us, donating to us to be able to build this particular capacity and to be able to continue the training so that we are able to build more translators in this country.
Great.
Other than that, I'm so grateful to them that are already donating to us. They are helping humanity, they are saving lives through donating their little or much that they are doing, and this is far-reaching. It's really far-reaching. And so from TWBK, we're so grateful. We really have no sufficient words to say thank you to our donors. And those who are willing to partner with us, this is a good venture to save a life and save humanity. Please welcome.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.